All right, everyone, please welcome Linnea Quigley. Amelia Kinkade. Amelia. Some lovely ladies here. Hi, welcome.
Hi.
Hello. You look lovely. Thank you.
Okay, so we only have 2 mics, so I'm going to give you this one, okay?
Well, you need one too. I'll talk real loud. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we hear
It's
you.
more important they hear you.
They look like school children. Clever. Oh, it's great. These are good mics. Whoever mic'd us is good.
Be a little careful with this one. Dave shared and just broke it.
Oh, what did you do?
He mic dropped and it popped up. So,
Oh my
so the pop filter
God.
might be a little like.
This is a big chair.
It's a very big chair.
It's like a long way up.
For somebody little,
I know, 5'2" and
5'2" here,
it's a long way
Yeah.
up. Yeah,
it's a long call.
yeah.
You're taller. Big people.
5'3".
You're 5'3"?
I'm 5'2.5".
You look taller than that. I thought you were always like 5'6" or something.
No.
All right, guys. Do we have any questions for Linnea or Amelia?
We have to prime
Not yet?
them.
Okay, well, I'll start then. How did you guys get involved with Night of the Demons? What was your audition like? How'd you hear about it?
We both had agents back in the day in Hollywood, and they would send out whatever auditions were available.
Mhm.
So I was living with my Aunt Rue, Golden Girls fame. Golden Girls fans here?
Yes.
And I went to Hollywood to be a dancer, and I never wanted to be an actress. And my Aunt Rue said, Mamie, you're gonna be an actress. I said, I used to get real nervous at auditions. And fortunately at this audition, they wanted me to scare the casting agent. And I kind of crawled over her desk and got in her face, was all flirty with her about how I was going to kill her.
But like in a sexy way.
And to this day, Tedra Gabriel says I absolutely scared the pee out of her. Peeing in her pants, she didn't know what to do. And so for me, it was my first big role, you know. After that, I did The Young and the Restless for a while. But before that, I had done a little tiny thing on the Golden Girls and a little tiny thing on Mama's Family. And that's how my Aunt Rue got me my SAG and AFTRA cards. So the whole cast, we were totally unknown, and there was only one star that was requested for the role. I didn't even think you had to audition, because I just heard Linnea Quigley's going to play this role. So, of course, the one star was Linnea.
I didn't think I was a star. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to go on this audition. And then they didn't make me audition, so I was like so
No, you
happy.
had it already. No, they had already picked you.
They didn't tell me that when I went in.
Well, they're probably afraid you're going to ask for more money.
Oh, that's probably right. Oh, don't tell her we want her. We'll just have her come in and
Right.
like we're gonna.
Have her fight for it.
Yeah, have a fight for it.
Yeah.
Because they never paid me any more money than you guys, so. it was
I
just-
know. We took
worked
all
for
that money
nothing.
and went out and bought ourselves a nice popsicle.
Yeah. Yeah, after they take out taxes and it was only a 2-week shoot, so
Yeah,
we didn't work
yeah.
that many days, believe it or not.
Yeah. Yeah, Fast and Furious.
Yes.
Yeah. How is Kevin Tenney, the director?
He was fun. We made a lot of our own decisions though on the
Oh,
film.
that's good. He gave you the freedom.
He gave us the freedom to do that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
After a really difficult take, Kevin Tenney would yell, "Chock full of art."
I forgot that.
Remember that?
Oh my God. He's always a one-liner.
Yeah,
Anything you say, it's a one-liner.
yeah. The scene with the broken mirror, with all of us looking into the broken mirror, I think that was one of the real moments of Kevin's brilliance. Because it was not easy to do. Because anywhere you put the camera, you're going to have a reflection
Right.
of the cameraman. And there was, I mean, to try to get that shot, that was pretty amazing.
David Lewis was a good DP.
Yeah, he was brilliant. He
He
was
was really
brilliant. We
good.
had a great director of photography.
Mhm.
But Kevin gave us a lot of freedom, being that as a director, he would say, okay, all right, Mimi, you're possessed.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
Linnea, act possessed. And see, and every act, what does that mean? You know, what do you do? Ah, I mean, what are you going to do? And every actor brought something different to it.
Yeah. You're right. They did.
And that's not easy. I mean,
Yeah.
acting scary without looking ridiculous and making a fool out of yourself
Oh my God. Yes.
is really, you know, something else.
Yeah.
And I think the whole cast of actors were very, very good at improv.
Mhm.
I was in improv comedy. I went into improv comedy after that. But that's a kind of improvisation. What does that mean to you, act possessed?
Right.
Yeah. It means something different to everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whereas, like, being a zombie always means, you know, you just do certain movements, but being possessed is a whole different number.
It's a whole different thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was coming at this from a dance background. So if you notice when I'm always a little bit ballerina.
Yes.
And I think that I thought, well, that's not scary. But if you're like this,
Floaty and
Yeah.
and then you know you're graceful. It was almost more of like a destroyer goddess kind of role.
yeah.
But I'm playing some timeless goddess.
Yes.
But honestly, the first time you see the possession is with you, and we had our prosthetics
Oh God.
hooked
Mm-hmm.
with Velcro. Our cheeks were pulled tight and hooked behind our necks, which added to the possessed behavior. Because by the next morning,
Oh, yeah.
after we'd had that stuff glued on us for 6 hours, I was ready to kill everybody inside.
Oh yeah.
It
So
was
that
nothing.
then it was easy to act possessed. Yes.
It was easy. I was like, just get this off me now.
Mm-hmm.
And she has this scene, the first time you see the possession, Linnea's head is back. And that alone is an interesting idea, you know? And then when you dropped your chin, your cheeks were pulled back like, mommy, my ponytail's too tight. And it's really effective. It's really scary.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Agreed.
And it's also if you look at it this way, I never really thought of this before. It wasn't men getting possessed. It was say that you're on a date and you're in high school and your dream girl, oops, you know, and that's part of what made it so scary, was that the girls
Yeah.
were the villains.
Yeah, you're right. They were.
It was us.
They were. We were like seducing the men in a way,
Yeah.
and then like when you're with Hal,
Oops.
and you're like bite out his tongue, it's like, oh,
He had it
what a-
coming.
It's like anytime you get like a little bit, you know, randy, then things start happening. Women take advantage.
Yeah, but isn't that playing on the teenage fantasies that
Yeah.
you've been told? Oh, you're not supposed to go sneak off to the liquor store and you know, rob the 7-Eleven and
Yes, yes. Really, don't rob the 7-Eleven. That's
go
really
to a party
bad.
in the middle of nowhere
Right,
and try to have
right.
sex with the hottest girl.
Go to the
in
house you're not
course.
supposed to go
You
to.
know.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was taking all those things.
It's a very fairy tale kind of
Yeah.
story.
Yeah. I love it. I love the whole franchise, really. I was telling you yesterday that I think part 2 is actually my most favorite.
Oh yeah.
And I don't even know why. I love it so much.
Is that where you were the snake?
But Linnea wasn't.
Or was that
in
the
it.
Oh, no,
third?
she wasn't.
Nothing's as good when Linnea's not.
Oh, that's right. Oh my god. Which one was the
It was
snake one?
27 and a half hours in that makeup.
Yeah.
Oh, golly.
Can you imagine being glued? You were on a teeter-totter, right?
Yeah. I was in a trench, glued to a teeter-totter, so that when that stood up, I was a 30-foot snake.
That was smart.
And it was all special effects, as you know. I mean, it was all practical effects.
Mhm.
There was no such thing as CGI at that time. And in Demons 2, the director, the brilliant and wonderful Brian Treasure Smith, came up to me and he said, "Okay, now Amelia, in the final scene, you're going to throw a fireball." And I said, "Oh, you're going to set my hand on fire?" Because that's what they did in the first movie.
Yeah, they did.
I was just moving my hands over the fire. And he said, "No, we'll do it in post." And I said, "Post? What's that?"
Mm-hmm.
And everything else in the scene is real. So Steve Johnson, this is the beauty of doing low budget movies where you have no money. You got to find creative ways to make something work. And he had tied my tail to dental floss and was standing off camera whipping the dental floss around. The tail's flying around, and it's really effective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is. It's really good.
So, Linnea, you're like a scream queen. You've done so many horror films, right?
Yes.
She's done over 100, and she has the world's record.
Oh, wow.
Is that so?
I guess so.
You don't even know.
I guess so.
Which was your favorite to be a part of?
I liked working on Night of the Demons because it was like a group effort.
Okay.
And I liked Return of the Living Dead because that was a group effort too.
Yeah.
So it was fun to work with like all kinds of actors and have everybody, you know, because it wasn't like we were getting special treatment or anything. We were all in the trenches together.
Yeah.
And those are the most fun to make because you go, wow, I made it through.
Right. Well, y'all made it through.
Yes.
It's a bonding experience.
It's a
right?
bonding experience, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. We just went through Silent Night, Deadly Night this holiday season.
Oh my
I
God.
made my husband watch it for the first time.
Did you really? Oh no. And he's like, what is she doing answering the door like that?
Yes. And then he's like, when you got killed, he's like, oh.
I know, I asked the director the same thing. I was like, well, a woman would put a top on
Yes.
before she puts her shorts on to go upstairs.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, we can't see the antlers move then. I said, okay, that's legitimate. You know?
For the kill, right?
Right, for the kill.
For the kill.
Those antlers they glued on me, and they're like, every time I was breathing, they'd go, woo!
The antler kill's the best.
Yeah, the antler kill's good.
It's so good.
It's a good one.
It's such a great kill in the
Yes.
TV horror movie.
It is.
And Linnea, tell me if this is true. I heard that your original career trajectory was going to be a police officer?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, not my original. I decided after I got done with, which one movie was it? Return of the Living Dead.
Mm-hmm.
That I was going to go out for LAPD.
I never knew this. I
Yes.
never heard the story.
So I went a year of testing the background, the psychological, the written, the everything.
Yeah.
And then I went, I don't want to get up at like 5 a.m. to go to the police academy. Because it takes a year to pass all those tests. It's a gruel, and oh my God, they gave me a hard time.
Yeah?
They had to see every movie I'd done.
Oh.
They,
Oh, dear.
Well, they must have enjoyed
Oh,
that.
yeah, especially Hollywood chainsaw hookers. I'm like, they're not gonna accept me. I'm like, oh my God, but they did. And then like I was at the background, and one police officer was trying to be really smooth, and he was a younger guy, and he's like, oh, you know, you're in these movies, and you know, I'm sure you do a little cocaine. I've been to these parties before, and you know, I'm like, no. You know, and he just kept going at me and going at me and going at me. So we walk out after an hour, and there was an older detective, and so they met in the hallway, and he goes, I don't know, she's done these movies where they like masturbate and stuff. And the other guy's like, I'm like going, they don't do that. I go like that, and the older guy's like, no, they don't do that. And they were like getting on him, so it was funny. It was a funny experience.
But ultimately you decided
Not to.
for you?
And then I went on to do Treasure of the Moon Goddess. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this for a while more. And like 100 movies later, I'm like doing this.
Well, I think we're all grateful that you
I'm glad, yes.
chose this career.
Even though it would have been fun, It would have been fun. I've done ride-alongs and gone to the county jail.
Oh, it's
and
definitely an important
did
job
all that.
for sure.
Yes, yes.
But
But
then we
I'm
wouldn't
glad.
have this terrific
I wouldn't
backlog
be
of your work.
here. Yes.
Right. We wouldn't have this opportunity.
That's right. That's right.
Oh my gosh. Do we have any audience questions? Yes.
Amelia, was there a connection between you, the Stray Cats, and Joe Augustine in how you got the role?
Yes, yes.
Really?
Joe Augustine, the writer of Demons 1, had seen the Stray Cat video, Sexy and 17, which was my first job.
I love Brian
wow.
Setzer, by the way.
That's a
Thank
great
you.
He's my
video.
dude.
Thank you. And Brian Setzer is still killing it.
He's still killing
He's
it.
still killing it. Super, 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 super talented.
Some of my favorite music ever.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. Since Straight Cats.
They were my favorite band before I got the job.
Oh my God! And to work.
How
on
was
it.
that?
Incredible.
Oh wow.
Magical beyond belief.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the story there is that Kevin Tenney didn't want me as the lead, and
Oh.
he didn't want me playing Angela. He had somebody else in mind. And Joe Augustine is the reason I got the role.
Oh,
Because
my God.
he had seen me in Sexy and 17, so he wanted me for the dance. And Joe had the vision of how important the dancing was.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want an actress just wiggling around. I think he had an idea there of what that should look like. And yeah, Joe was the reason I got the role.
Thank God.
That's neat.
Thank you. Yes.
And that dance number, it makes a big difference because it's a professional dancing. It makes a big difference in
Thank
the way
you.
you view the movie.
I've seen you on the Tombstone, and that kind of that makes me. I watched it last night. I believe it or not, I'd never seen it. I had never seen that.
Oh, how funny.
I'd never seen that movie. And last night I went back to my hotel room and I said, okay, I gotta say this. Everybody who's coming to your table said, oh, I love trash, I love trash, I love trash. And I'd seen these pictures of you over the years in the red,
my God,
you know,
how
with
funny.
the red. And
Yeah, with
you
the
had
red
kind
hair.
of a stray
Yeah.
cat thing happening
I got
there.
that stray cat thing going. I
And
saw that
I
video.
watched
I'm
it
like,
and
I'm
I
doing
went,
it.
oh, I get it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I understand.
Now I get what she was doing.
Oh my, she's a hot, hot, hot tamale.
I'm a musical theater nerd, so I
Ooh.
love dance in any
Yeah.
capacity, of course, especially traditional like ballet, like you. But so anytime there is a dance break in a horror movie, I'm all for it.
Oh, yeah.
We talk about this all the time. You know, anytime there's like a 5-minute dance break, it's like yes. So Night of the Demons
Yeah.
and Return of the Living Dead have that. So I loved it.
Well, it's interesting. Amelia's done backup dancing for the big ones, Cher.
Yeah.
Who else?
Smokey Robinson, Ray Charles, were tops, Sheena Easton, Donna Summer. So,
Yeah, Donna Summer. That
yeah, and I got to Hollywood right at the rush of those dance movies, of the breakdance movies. So the dancers, we were all making these Fast Forward and Electric Boogaloo and Girls Just Want to Have Fun, and there were break dancers coming in as the stars of the movie, and we were all just rolling our eyes, thinking, "Oh, this is ridiculous." Look at these guys spinning on their heads. This is going to last about 2 weeks. Well, 30 years later, it's still happening. It's still happening. So, and when I was in high school, and you don't know this because nobody knows this,
Well, I'm honored that she's going to share with us.
every day after school, my mother dropped me off at the theater. And it was the college theater that would have us high school kids come in as the dancers. And I did Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and Can and Brigadoon and a million of those shows. And I totally hear you.
Yeah.
I still watch them.
Yep. Same.
I'll be on an airplane and have all these new things to watch or Singing in the Rain. Forget about it. I'm going to watch Singing in the Rain.
Yes.
Yeah.
What dancing?
Over and over
Yeah.
and over.
Yeah. My iPod playlist is basically, the whole thing is basically all Broadway show tunes and big band.
Did you dance?
Yep.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Do you sing?
That's
Nope.
hard.
Not anymore. I used
Not
to.
anymore.
But
Okay.
it kind of went away.
Oh.
But I did the ballet and the tap and the jazz and the fosse and the swing and all that good stuff.
Wow, I was here in Chicago for Gus Giordano.
I'm sorry, who?
Gus Giordano.
Oh, yeah.
I was on scholarship one summer.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, since I like to know about other people's music, that's my favorite. What are your favorite genres of music?
I like the 80s.
The 80s?
I like the 80s music the best.
Oh, I like a lot of
I know it's
things.
tough. Depends on
I
your
mean,
mood.
as a dancer, I like
Oh,
a lot of
yeah.
things. Sometimes it's 80s, sometimes it's R&B, sometimes it's jazz, sometimes it's swing, big band. Sometimes
swing must be fun.
Sometimes it's country western.
It's the funnest.
I like all sorts of things.
Yeah. What's your favorite style of dance?
Modern jazz.
Modern jazz?
Yeah.
Yeah. Linnea, do you like to have a favorite style of dance that you either like to do or watch?
Freestyle.
Freestyle? Should we freestyle?
I'm really bad. I could never be a professional dancer because
You're good as trash.
yeah, but I was freestyle.
Yeah.
I go the wrong way.
No.
I'm
completely the opposite.
I'm
I
like,
need
"Ugh."
structure.
Really?
Yeah, I need the structure.
I'm like, I don't want structure.
I need structure.
Okay, then we'll never go out for the same levels.
That is true.
And now salsa. Any salsa dance?
Oh,
Music.
yeah.
Oh man, are we
Salsa's hot.
hoping COVID ends soon?
Oh.
Yeah, salsa dancing it's so
Salsa's hot.
sexy.
We haven't danced in over a year.
Oh my God, yeah, you're right.
Only by yourself in your
Yeah.
living room.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep. Any audience questions? Yes.
For Amelia, is there a reason why Kevin didn't, I know he was involved with the sequels, but why he didn't direct them?
He wasn't hired. I don't know.
Was it more, because I think he was a producer for the other ones, right? In the stream.
I don't know.
I think you're right about that.
Yeah, I think they wanted to hire someone else.
He didn't have control over it. So the producers, Blue Rider, Walter Jostin, they had the ability to hire different directors. And I don't know why they hired Brian Trencher Smith. I'm just glad they did.
But he was good, I heard, Brian.
Brian's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else? Yes.
You talked earlier about the mirror shot in the movie,
Yeah.
and we just watched it yesterday, and it was done incredibly well. Can
Yeah.
you describe how they did it more? You just said it was practical, and the room it took was difficult to do, right?
We just all had to like be in a specific spot, move into a specific spot and make sure everybody was on the same page, and it amazingly worked really, really well. And then the DP was there, and so we all had like our little movement to get into our spot and stay there and say our lines
Yeah.
too.
Did it take a long time?
It seemed to. That was the longest
It seemed to,
shot.
didn't it?
Yeah, it seemed to take a long time.
It looked incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did. That was our arty shot.
What songs were you dancing to? Was it really the Bauhaus, and in part two, was it really that metal tune, or was it something else? The two dancing.
I requested that song because I had a friend at the time that was a punk rocker. We were all cutesy wannabe punk rockers. We're
Oh.
spraying our crew cuts pink and green, but she was a little more real, and she said, "You've got to use this Bauhaus song." And there was just no way in the world we were going to get the rights to that song. It's impossible. You got to go to the company, and they're not going to give it to you. And they did. They
They
did.
got more money probably than we did.
You know?
I'm sure.
And so when I made the actual piece and choreographed it, it was to the Bauhaus song.
Yeah, usually they don't have that. They usually like have you dance to some, track they just are playing, and then later on they license the rights.
But this is never going to work
Hmm.
because it had to strategically,
Yes.
it had to work with that song. It had to be in perfect rhythm with that music, and it had to be edited to that music.
Hmm.
And the thing about a movie like this, and you're talking about ensemble casts, we get the credit for things, but every single person on the Demons film knew we weren't going to make any money, and they gave it the best they possibly could. So Kevin Tenney's brother scored it. He did a brilliant job. The editing was great. The lighting was great. The set design was great. Considering it was so low budget, it was beneath low budget. It was called affirmative action, where we're going to get paid less than union wage. But to have the camera snaking through these green, the way that they made Whole House almost seem alive, the green hallways. There were so many other elements in the movie to make it work that were actually more important than mine. And Kevin Tenney did an amazing job, not to downplay his amazing editing, his direction. It was incredible. And Steve Johnson was, Steve Johnson was already, he had won an Oscar for Ghostbusters. This was the reason I took the job.
But we went through hell. Oh my God.
He put us through hell.
Yeah, it was hell.
What was the most difficult effect for you guys?
That makeup. The demon makeup was horrible. It was like, especially the last day on one.
When they did the hot slime on half my body, that took 9 hours to get on.
Oh.
So I'd already been in makeup for 6 hours, and then they did the red hot slime. It took a couple hours to get it off every morning.
Oh,
And then you go home, sleep for a couple hours, come back, and they put it right back on you.
Yeah. Again.
Didn't someone request to sleep in it?
How?
Didn't he sleep in it?
He was crying. He
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to.
He made the boys cry.
Hal's hot slime makeup, when he got burned, that was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't see it for that long. It's just like, bam.
But
you
he's
know?
terrifying.
But it is terrifying. It's like, ugh.
He's totally unrecognizable.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Stooge is so scary.
Yes.
And they actually went to a taco stand, him and someone else, I think it was, in their possessed makeup. They forgot they had it on. They were just hungry. And
That was Billy. Wasn't it Billy?
Yes, Billy and someone else. I don't remember who.
It was Hal.
And Hal, and there were gang members there eating because it was a gang area, and they scared them off. So it was like,
I've really never seen gang members scatter so
I
fast.
know. It's like
Stooge walking up in that full-on
Oh
possession
my
You
makeup.
provided a community service then.
we did.
Uh,
Maybe that is an idea to have security guards dressed as demons. We could have our own company, demon guards or
Maybe that'd
something.
clear out the bad parts.
Yeah, the bad parts of town where we go, woo.
Amazing. I saw some other hands. How do you?
Man, Linnea, you have a music background too. How did you put together your band, The Skirts, and do you have any kind of stories
About the skirts?
about playing with them?
Oh my God, yeah, I have lots of stories of that. When I first started, we rehearsed underneath the Pussycat Theater on Hollywood Boulevard, which was at that time filled with prostitutes and just scum of the earth and just weird people, just unfortunately, people that weren't all there, and actors that never made it, and it was just a sad area. And so we would go to the store, which was not far, like a block away, to get sodas and things like that. And I remember one time the drummer and I were walking back, and this guy just grabbed us. Well, he grabbed the drummer by the belt loop, and he was hey, you guys are prostitutes, we're gonna get you, and you're gonna be our girls and stuff like that. And so I went, oh my God, what do I do? So I acted insane. I'm like, hi, how are you guys doing? And he let her go really fast. And then there were times that we had guys chasing us into the studio, and we'd have to bolt the doors, stand against them, and we rehearsed next to the Go-Go's when they were really punk, and the motels, and there were all kinds of stories from in there. I don't want to like bore you, but it was fun. We had a fun time during
Have
the
you
punk era.
ever sung in any of your movies?
Yes.
Which ones?
Nightmare Sisters was one. And then some of my music has been done in movies I've done and movies that have been
The
out.
Score?
Yeah.
Oh, that I had to
So it's
hear
cool.
those. I think the LAPD completely missed out.
I know, you missed
Because
that.
if they put you in Vice,
Oh my
you
God.
got an actress working Vice.
That would have been good.
Yeah, she would have been good.
I would have loved to gone into Vice. I wanted to be a detective or a Vice cop.
But
That
how
would
do you
have
like
been-
Linnea Quigley pulling guns on you?
Yeah, really. Oh, surprise, motherfucker. You know, like, I'll do Dirty Harry or something.
All right, I saw some more. Yes.
Would you ever come back to the franchise as like a duo? You know how like earlier you said it was kind of like a team thing, but like you could always come back and be like, you know, Cougars from Hell.
Oh, that would be fun.
Cougars from Hell would be nice.
That would be fun
Thank
to
you
do.
for that idea. I'll start writing that tonight.
Yes, Cougars from Hell. I like that.
Yeah.
That's like your subtitle, right? I believe it's for Cougars from Hell.
Yeah.
Okay, when it's out, don't sue us.
Anyone else? Questions?
Just because Steve Johnson's name has been brought up a couple of times, just whatever, something to share some stories about him, because as we all know, he's very brilliant, as we know that you have passed. And,
Oh God, he's funny. He
Yeah.
is like, he was like really intense on like holding up production. He didn't mean to, but he wanted everything right. And what he saw on the screen, I had to practice my eye gouging. Like I had to go to the studio and practice.
Wow.
That's how, yes. When I get Jay's eyes out, I poke him out. He's like, you have to come here and practice. And I'm like, okay.
I bet he wanted to practice with you.
I don't know. I was just like, I gotta go now, man.
No,
Maybe, but I think
had
he
the
was.
world's biggest crush on Steve Johnson.
He was a cutie.
And it was the day after he plastered your chest.
Oh.
So he got to rub plaster all over Linnea's naked breasts. And it was all over for me. I was invisible from that moment on. Well, that was it. He fell for you.
Oh no.
Lucky you.
Well, we didn't know until we went to the rap party. And then we went to the rap party. I, of course, said to him, I don't have a ride, you know, in front of him to the rap party. And he goes, I'll give you a ride. And I'll go, oh, okay. I was bad. But I had a crush on him too.
he's still funny.
He's amazing. He's very witty and funny.
Anybody else? No.
Yeah, what are your two favorites, individually, what are your favorite moments from all four of the movies? Like one scene that stands out that is your favorite.
In part one, I can shamelessly say it's the dance. Because I was allowed to do whatever I wanted, and I was like a tiger coming out of the cage in the zoo. Obviously.
A cougar.
Because I had been pent up for so long, and they let me go wild. In part two, I had a crush on Brian Haynes, who played Z-Boy,
Really?
and I get to shag him to death. So,
Oh, that was a good scene then. Yes. Oh, I can see the
death
chemistry.
by shag.
Yes, yes.
And I got paid for it.
Wow.
Like, oh my gosh. Oh
Wow.
no, I get to crawl all over Brian Hames. Okay. And that was another one of those possession stories where,
Oh.
okay, you're possessed. And he starts howling like a wolf. He starts vibrating all over and howling. Darren, to this day, is just so hot and so talented.
Wow.
And Demons 3, we shot in the woods outside of Montreal in autumn. that alone, shooting all night
Oh my God.
in the woods was so amazing, so magical. And there was one moment where one of the girls, I had a little bit to pull I pulled some strings with the direction and the characters. One of the girls is basically the goddess Sekhmet. She's got a lion head, and then she's human from the waist down. And she was a young actress, she didn't really know what to do. And I said, go over to this tree and just start scratching on the tree like a lion, like this. And so she went over and did it. So, I mean, I enjoyed different aspects of all three movies for different reasons.
Yeah,
I think you should be a director.
absolutely.
It just came to me. You should be directing.
Wow, wouldn't that
You'd be good.
something?
You'd be good.
Well, maybe someday. Maybe now that I'm in my late 20s, I'll
Yes.
I'll say what
Yes.
what Dolly Parton says now that she's 80 and she's going to make another 9
She's
to 5.
80?
Yeah. And they said, do you ever think about retiring? And she said, well, maybe when I'm older.
I love that. She's so cute. She's so cute. She's little too, I've heard.
Yeah, she's a go-getter.
Yeah. And then my favorite part was probably the lipstick scene because it was of the reactions of people.
And no,
It
you
was
cannot
great.
borrow my makeup. Ever.
I know. I am so sorry about that color you loved.
Ever.
I'm so sorry.
Don't touch my makeup. I will
Okay,
never see it
I'm
again.
sorry. I'm sorry.
And the body that sucks up and absorbs makeup.
I know, and I'm so glad you didn't tell me that's the only reason I was hired, because my body absorbs lipstick.
That was such an interesting effect, though, and very unique. No
Yeah.
one else was doing that,
No.
right?
Nope. No one else.
Yeah, so I love that scene.
Thank you.
Always have. Just like, oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting.
I guess men were even affected. They were like, oh, that's a... Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how I look at the horror and the gore. I'm like, oh, that's different.
That's smart.
So I'm like, wow, okay, that's
Well, especially
creative.
in this day and age, it's hard to find anything that hadn't been done already. And
Yeah.
we'll look at things and I'll go, oh, look,
Yeah.
Dawn of the Dead, Walking Dead, rip off of our makeup. They look like us.
Yeah, you're right.
They do. They look
Yeah.
like us. The orcs look like us. They ripped off Demon's One. Because how many ways can you put possession makeup on somebody?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's true.
And we were one of the first to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people here, I heard they were like 5 or 8 when they saw Night of the Demons.
Shame on your mothers.
I know. They didn't know what they were watching. 8? Oh my God. That's
8
so
or 9.
funny.
8 or 9.
Okay. Did
Around
you
there.
get scared?
No.
Okay.
My first horror movie was Suspiria, and like ballet and witches, yes. And then it was all horror all the time from
And
that.
I've been doing a lot of signings in Texas because I've been holed up in Texas throughout the COVID thing because it's open. And I've had a lot of Hispanic fans come through and say, did you know that our mothers used to scare us with you? And I said, and then I start talking to the mothers. This is how they make their kids behave.
Oh, that's funny.
Angela's going to go get you.
Oh my God, that's funny.
I said, that's terrible. That's terrible.
It's kind of brilliant, though.
But at least they should use pictures of us, put it in the bathroom, make your kids brush their teeth.
That's true. Oh my God. And wash your face. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if you don't wash your
So do
face,
they come up to you kind of scared? Like you're gonna...
Oh yeah, they'll say my mother used you
Oh my God.
to make me behave.
That's funny.
All right, we have time for a couple of more. Yes?
Going back to that lipstick scene you were just talking about, was it always lipstick, or at one point, like, was there ever anything else that was supposed to go in there? Or
Nope.
Trying to do alternate takes and put your car keys in there?
That's funny. Most people should put their car keys in because it's like they always lose them. But no, it was always lipstick. And the name of the film was Halloween Party, which is a totally different
Yeah.
twist to the whole Night of the Demons. I like Night of the Demons.
I like Night of the Demons, too.
Yeah.
Or also, rather.
I think it was also, they came up with this name, Halloween Boogaloo or something like that. Something awful, which would have been a whole different spin on
That
it.
would be the spoof version.
That would be.
That would have been the roller derby version.
Yeah. It was like a
Would have
stupid
been great if we
name.
were on roller skates.
Well, you were.
I was on roller skates.
They put her on roller skates in the movie.
Coming down that hallway.
Yep. And pushed you. Just pushed you.
All right, and one more. If anyone has one? No? Oh, okay.
There was an actor who was in Night of the Demons. He was also in Sorority Babes and Slime Bolorama. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name.
Hal.
Oh yeah.
Yes. He's still around. He's in LA, right?
So, yeah, Hal Havens is teaching acting.
Yeah, he's
in Los
teaching acting.
Angeles.
And Billy Gallo is too.
Yeah, they are.
Both of them.
And Hal and I are very close. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Now, there needs to be an acting school that we could do too, along with the security guards, where it would be how to act possessed, how to go through makeup unblemished.
Yeah.
You know, all these different things. We should do that.
Practical classes.
Yes, practical classes that they don't teach you in acting class.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now I have one last question for you.
Okay.
Do you have any projects coming up that you want to tell us about? Or no?
Oh yeah.
Either way.
When I go home, I have one day off, and I do Terror Tunes 4,
Awesome.
which is going to come out. There's a bunch of them that are coming out, like Buzz Cut, which I did in New Zealand, right before the pandemic. Triassic Hunt is on now. Let's see. No, Triassic Hunt. I know, it's like a spoof of Jurassic Park, but it's a little different. It's a little bit more low budget.
You don't play a dinosaur, do you?
No, I don't play a dinosaur.
Talk
A
about
possessed
some
dinosaur.
Special effects.
Oh my God, yeah. No, I don't play a dinosaur. I play a bad woman,
Oh.
which is, of course, fun. And I've got my Moulin Rouge animal rescue. I've got 15 dogs, 4 cats, and a rescue bureau on the way. So I do it alone, and it's a lot.
Yeah. Wow.
What about
What
you?
about you, Missy?
I know things
Well,
have slowed down right now.
Yeah, my charity's called Archangel, and if you go to ameliakinkade.com, you'll see it. This is the first year in 19 years that I have not been able to get to Africa. So I've been maybe 24, 25 times. Sometimes I go twice a year. And I work with lions and leopard and elephants and great white sharks, penguins, cheetah, and the books are about that,
Yes.
communicating better with your animals. Well, I'm going to stay on here in Chicago and volunteer at a horse rescue. She's got the best success rate for men coming back from the war that are traumatized from post-traumatic stress, and she assigns them to abused or wild Mustangs, and they have had incredible success rates. So if I'm allowed to do it, I'll get back to Africa in November and do the charity work in the schools. So I go into rural communities in Zambia, Zimbabwe, Kenya, South Africa, all over Zambia. And we dance as lions, and we draw lions, and we make up plays about protecting animals and poaching animals, try to get the kids protecting the animals on the safari parks. And as far as Hollywood projects, everything is on hold right now because of COVID.
But you're writing also. You're besides
Well,
books.
I've got 6 books out there.
Right.
Yeah,
Besides the
I'm
books.
writing other things.
Yes, she's
but
writing other things.
because of COVID, we can't move yet.
No.
So when this is over, it's not impossible that we could do some television, and from your mouth to God's ears, hopefully make some fantasies come true.
Yes, yes. And of course, there's Cougar Hell?
Cougars from Hell.
Cougars from Hell, yes, of course. We'll be working on that as soon as we leave.
And we've got a photo op in costume at 5 o'clock.
Yes, we do. That's coming up
I
soon.
had to drag an entire suitcase filled with a hoop skirt and that costume and the tiara and the wig and the whole rigmarole. I look like Scarlett O'Hara on crack.
Yeah, I love that. That's a good analogy.
Don't miss it. Make it worth our while and come to our
Yes.
photo op.
Yes, yes.
All right. Well, thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
ladies.
Good questions, everybody. Oh, we gotta jump.
Yes, we do. I'm kind of short.
I know, the short women are the short.
Yes, well, you know, we have to work hard. That is true. Yeah. Thank you so much, ladies. I'll be coming by your table later.
Thank you, that was fun.
I'm so glad.